Welcome to NSU, where great things happen. I'm your host, Jillian, and we're here with Dr. Randall Webb, president of Northwestern State University. Dr. Webb, I hear we have a big announcement to make.
Indeed we do, Jill. We just had a press conference earlier in the week, and we made a special announcement. We actually announced that Northwestern was going to be awarding the largest number and largest dollar values in privately funded scholarships in our school's 127-year history.
Wonderful. Let's take a look at it.
We're here to announce today that we are going to award the largest number and the largest dollar value of privately funded scholarships in the history of this venerable university. We want to do the best we can to narrow the gap between what students and parents are assessed for fees and other expenses at the university and what they have in order to put up against those charges. We're hoping that students who can obtain funding through the TOPS program, for which we're very grateful, and other sources cobbled together with the privately funded scholarships that we'll provide in large numbers and amounts now, will make a tremendous difference.
That's very exciting news, Dr. Webb, but what does it mean for students?
Well, that's what's important. It has to do with the impact on students' lives, and as you know, that's what we seek to do at Northwestern, is to provide positive, life-changing experiences for our students. And one way that we can do that is to try to reduce the gap between what students are assessed for college tuition, fees, room and board, and the available money they have to pay for it to offset some of those costs. And so when we can announce scholarship dollars of this magnitude, it makes a tremendous difference.
Well, how did this all come about?
Well, this began years ago, but it really reached a head here about a year ago when a nice lady, Miss Mary Reeves Gillespie of Pelican, Louisiana, passed away, and we came to find out eventually that her quite sizable estate would impact Northwestern in the way of scholarships. She agreed to, through earnings off of her estate, to fund two different kinds of scholarships, one in her memory and another in the memory of her dear cousin, Hetty M. Fincher. The ones for the scholarships funded in Ms. Gillespie's honor will be primarily for students in business and business education and education in general and related fields. And in the case of Ms. Fincher's, hers will relate primarily to mathematics and related fields of study, and of course, once again, teacher education. And that's altogether fitting since this was founded as the state normal school so many years ago. So this week, we were able to announce the very first authorizations of one scholarship in honor of each of those ladies. I mentioned the Gillespie estate and the fact that it was so sizable and has so much potential. It certainly brings it to the fore, but I should point out that over the last 5 years, in addition to gifts we've received before, that dozens and dozens of people have contributed towards scholarships for students, which is why the magnitude of both the numbers of scholarships and the award amounts have increased significantly over that period.
All right. And speaking of Northwestern State alumni, Drake Owens, the head of the Alumni Association and Foundation, mentioned that 5-year impact at the press conference.
Once again, we honor the generation-changing gift from Mary Reeves Gillespie. Miss Gillespie serves as an example of so many friends, family, and alumni who have made substantial contributions to Northwestern State scholarships over the past several years. Just echoing what Dr. Webb said and expanding on his statement, the number of scholarships provided to Northwestern State over the past 5 years has increased over 125%, which means we are helping more than twice the students we have in the past. The total value of these scholarships has increased over 100% on average over the past 5 years. And the total amount of scholarship awards coming from privately funded sources has increased 143% over the past 5 years, which means we have the funds to dramatically impact our students. Northwestern State has an alumni base of over 80,000 graduates. This is one of the largest in the state. These are the individuals who support us, their friends, their families, private business. These are the ones who invest in the future of Northwestern State to make sure our students can walk out of here with a valuable degree to get into the workforce, and they do not have to handle the excessive burden of student loans. And this is something I can say that we're very proud of.
It's really just incredible to hear those numbers, doubling the number of students aided this fall.
Definitely. Of course, what we're really most interested in is the personal touch for students at Northwestern. In fact, in our mission statement, we define Northwestern as a student-oriented, responsive university, and that's exactly what we strive to be. In the case of those students who choose Northwestern, we want to do everything we can within reason to try to ensure that we take as good care of them as possible.
There were a lot of folks that talked about Northwestern State at the event, and we'll hear from them a little bit later. But announcing the deadline for the application was not the highlight of the event.
No, it's exciting that we could make that kind of general announcement, but with me, it's all about students. And we had the opportunity to award the very first Mary Reeves Gillespie Scholarship to one of our continuing students, a sophomore, Kirk Allen from Haynesville, who is an outstanding student and leader who's majoring in industrial engineering technology. So we were able to award that scholarship to him. And then at the same ceremony, we were able to add a new member to the Northwestern State family. Emily O'Glee from Halton High School was there along with her mother. And Emily plans to major in mathematics at Northwestern, so she was awarded the very first Hattie M. Fincher Scholarship Award. And consequently, that made for a wonderful ceremony and frankly some pretty good news. I've been reading the newspaper, I've been reading the current sauce, and I understand there have been other television coverages of this, and you just can't go wrong being good to students.
And I bet some pretty excited students as well. Let's take a look at those presentations.
This is one of the more enjoyable things that I get to do today. We talked a while ago about the fact that this is about changing people's lives for the better through Northwestern, involving them in the superlative environment that we have here. And today we're going to conclude this ceremony by awarding the very first two scholarships to come from the estate of Mary Reeves Gillespie. Some of the scholarships will be awarded in her memory, and other scholarships awarded through her estate will be awarded in the memory of Hetty Fincher, a close relative and friend of hers. And today we honor two of our students. One is a continuing student from Haynesville, Louisiana, Kirk Allen, who is a sophomore majoring in industrial engineering technology and doing a real fine job of that. And he will be the first person at Northwestern to receive one of the Mary Reeves Gillespie scholarships. So, Kurt, if you'll come forward, I'll give you a certificate commemorating this and congratulate you for this high honor.
I appreciate it.
Thought you might want to say a word or two, Kurt.
I just want to thank her for the scholarship. It really helps out more than a lot of people will know. Before the semester started, I was kind of worried about how I was going to get my books and stuff, and this was the perfect amount just to get all the books I needed, because in engineering, you need a lot of books. So it really does help, and thank you.
The next honoree is a high school senior at Halton High School. This is a young lady whom Jana and I met when we visited Halton High School, and Ms. Rayleigh, the counselor there, told us she had some excellent students wanting to major in math in college, and we told her that was music to our ears. And today, when I award this scholarship and the certificate commemorating it, and we will honor Emily O'Glee, who is the student, but we'll also honor her mother as well, who is with her today. And you can imagine just what kind of high school background that Emily has had in order to qualify for one of these scholarships. And we're just proud to have Emily coming to Northwestern next fall. We're grateful today to have her and her mother, Brandy, with us. And this will be the first Hetty M. Fincher Scholarship Award through the Gillespie Estate. So if both of you would come forward, I'd like to honor both of you simultaneously. I'd like to say a word or two. We might let her talk from the parents.
I just want to say thank you for this just great opportunity and honor to get to accept this scholarship award, and it just made me even more excited to be attending NSU next year, or this year.
Congratulations to both of those students. We'll be right back to talk more about NSU recruiting and events this semester when we come back to NSU, where great things happen.
Wouldn't you like to receive an Ivy League education at a fraction of the cost? The Louisiana Scholars College is here to give you just that in a close-knit learning environment. Established in 1987 as the state's designated honors college, the Louisiana Scholars College continues to offer a unique, comprehensive, and interdisciplinary curriculum that helps hundreds of students excel beyond the rest in the professional world. The Scholars College seeks highly motivated students who are willing to experience new ideas in pursuit of their education. Expand your mind without expanding your wallet.
Northwestern State University is a friendly, student-oriented university. Become part of a Northwestern family, and you will find a dedicated faculty and staff who work to ensure student success in and out of the classroom. Northwestern has campuses in Natchitoches, Shreveport, Leesville, Fort Polk, and Alexandria, along with online degree programs. More than 75,000 alumni around the U.S. and the world invite you to find yourself at Northwestern State University.
Welcome back to Northwestern State, where great things happen. I'm here with Dr. Randall Webb, president of Northwestern State University, and you have been on recruiting events this past week. What's been the response?
The response has been remarkable. This is really what charges my batteries when I get out on the road with our recruiters and sometimes with some of our students, and certainly with our alumni as we seek new students for Northwestern. We have had functions in the New Orleans area, Covington, Baton Rouge, Houston, and Dallas. And it has been so gratifying because the response has been in record numbers, and the caliber of students and how they think about a college education has just really been most meaningful to me. I have had the privilege of meeting and talking to some wonderful students and their parents. A few come to mind, although I've probably met well over 100 this past week. But Grace Vogel from Haynes High School in Metairie, and her parents were there. I talked to Grace and her mother and her counselor by phone before, but this time I had the chance to meet this dynamic young lady who's going to be an outstanding theater major